lives on our roads this year, compared to 101 at the same time last year. Every life lost on our roads is an absolute tragedy. It's an absolute tragedy, and it's also completely preventable. It is preventable, it is avoidable. It's a reminder to all of us to make sure that we do the right things when we're on the road. If you get that text message, you don't have to look at it when you're in the car. You cannot be distracted. You can't take your eyes away from the wheel. If you are distracted when you're in a car, it can have fatal consequences. During the last week of November there, we saw, unfortunately, that 7 lives were lost on our roads. To put that into perspective, that's 7 people that aren't going to be home for Christmas. Absolutely devastating. Devastating for the victims and their families and their friends, but also devastating for our first responders that have to actually go out to the scene of those crashes and attend to those incidents. It's a complete tragedy for all involved. So please, we're urging South Australians once again, please do the right thing on our roads. Fatalities on our roads, lives lost on our roads, there's no excuse for it. These incidents are completely avoidable. Let's make sure that we do the right thing for our friends and our families. Let's make sure that we do the right thing on our roads as we approach the festive season. For much of this year, we've had many restrictions. We're hoping that these restrictions continue to lift. And so we are going to have the ability to travel in our beautiful state. Let's enjoy our beautiful state. Let's make sure that we're here for Christmas. Let's make sure that we do the right thing on our roads. I'm joined here by Superintendent Bob Gray. I'm sure he'll also talk a little bit about road safety as well. I just also want to take this opportunity to thank South Australia Police for their diligence in the apprehension of this prisoner that escaped during the week. SAPOL have done a fantastic job, and I want to thank them. This individual is expected to attend a bedside hearing today, and I'm informed that he'll be then transferred to G Division in Yatala Labour Prison. Over to Superintendent Bob Gray.
Thank you, Minister. I'd just like to reiterate the message that the Minister has just given you. In a tragic period commencing last Friday, in 72 hours, 6 lives were lost on our road. I would ask you to please be responsible on our roads. To the majority of the people that do the right thing, I thank you. To the small group of people that choose to be irresponsible on our roads and commit selfish acts, I tell you that road safety is a priority of South Australia Police, and we will enforce against you, as we have done recently, where we apprehended 2 hoon riders on motorcycles. They were followed by our helicopter, police attended, they were arrested, and their motor vehicles were seized. Don't think because you're committing offences on our roads that they are simply traffic offences. You can be committing offences on our roads that potentially have imprisonment for life as a result of your offending. So please, we want everybody to enjoy Christmas. As we stand here today, 86 families are going to be affected by their loved ones who won't be there this year. Last December, we had 15 lives lost on our roads. We don't want a repetition of that this year. So please, listen to the Minister's message and just be safe on our roads so we can have an enjoyable festive season.
Can you comment on the Gawler East crash from this morning? Were the police pursuing that car?
What I can tell you is at about 12:42 this morning at Gawler East, police pursued a vehicle for a very short period of time. As a result of danger to the police and to the drivers of the vehicle and occupants, that pursuit was terminated. A short time later, another patrol found that vehicle had collided with the pole, and a 16-year-old girl is currently fighting for her life.
So when police stopped the pursuit, were they still following it with possibly lights and sirens off?
I haven't got the level of detail, but the car that was pursuing the offending vehicle, that wasn't the car that found the vehicle had collided with the pole.
What do you think about the driver's actions, leaving the scene, running off, and leaving this poor 16-year-old girl fighting for her life?
Look, those actions are reprehensible. There's no excuse for that. There's significant penalties as a result of the Kapunda Road Royal Commission with respect to people leaving the scene of an accident where somebody's seriously injured. So if anybody knows the whereabouts of this person, I would ask them to call Crime Stoppers.
Are you able to comment as well about the efforts of police last night to apprehend Jason Burden?
No, I'm not able to comment on that.
Just, I know there's never a good time to lose lives on our roads, but this would definitely be the worst time of the year for families to go through these tragedies, wouldn't it?
Look, as the Minister said, every life lost on our road has tragic consequences for the families. And unfortunately, first responders and particularly police get to see that because we're involved long after the collision is finalised. So it's going to be tragic for a number of families this year, and my heart goes out to them.
What would you say to people, you know, who are considering going off, travelling around the state, you know, planning a road trip or whatever? We've seen, you know, with crash near Millicent, just, you know, how a simple trip home from a country town can end in tragedy. What's your message to drivers as we get into the festive season?
My message is enjoy the state. We've got a beautiful state. It's been an unusual year. By all means travel, but just remember that 75% of lives lost over the last 5 years have occurred in regional South Australia. So drive to the conditions, be patient, be rested. If you're fatigued, stop and just enjoy yourself and be safe.
Do you know how many minutes there was in between when police stopped the termination, the chase, and when they crashed?
No, not specifically. A short period of time, but I reiterate that the patrol that found the vehicle collided with the pole was not the patrol that initiated pursuit of that vehicle.
Do you think the crash could have been avoided though in this situation?
Look, as the Minister said, quite simply, all road accidents or road collisions can be avoided. They're all avoidable. And that's the tragedy of it. Nobody needs to die or be seriously injured on our roads.
But this young man may have been scared by the fact that they were being pursued by police.
I can't speculate what the driver was thinking.
Minister, can we ask you a few